floor and above your head if you need any assistance. The studio is private property, and if at any time during the tour you drop your phone or just can't wait to use the restroom, pull the cord and remain seated. Please, no smoking of any kind during the tour. And rule number 3. Rule number 4, be prepared. Our tour today features loud noises, fire effects, sudden tram movements, and many water effects. You'll want to have your cameras out for great photo opportunities, but keep an eye on them so they don't get wet. Finally, for your safety and for the safety of those around you, again, please do not use selfie sticks while you're on board. We're now heading down onto our front lot. Home to things such as the majority of our 36 sound stages, and ahead of us here is sound stage number 12, the largest one of the Universal lots. It was recently being used for the reality series The Voice, now filmed on those backlight stages I pointed out to some of you folks earlier. So we had to like stage 12 is not being used now for production due to the enhancements and the construction happening in and around the stage, but it was in there that all the following sequences were shot. Stage 12 was big enough to hold sets such as the Visitor Center for Jurassic Park, downtown Newville for the live-action How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and the Eden East Resort for couples retreats. And some of the stations ahead of us are used for Bel Air, a fresh take on the classic Fresh Prince of Bel Air series with Adrian Holmes, Cassandra Freeman, and my next guests, Jabari Banks and Ollie Shulaton.
Could you just grab me water when you can? So what is you put egg on the cheese? You put cheese on the eggs? On the cheese. That's right. Whoa, how many seats do you think are in there? No, it's gotta be a lot. Man, we could probably fit the whole Bel Air cast and crew in there. You know, we gotta get one of these for the mansion. Okay, for sure. You're lucky for y'all. The Bates Family Mansion lives right here on the Universal lot. Right. Some of Bel Air's most pivotal scenes have been filmed right here. Jabari, what have been your most memorable moments? Oh, I don't know. I mean, there's so many to choose from. You know, out a little before your set where Will first enters, and at that moment, his life changes forever. What about you? Well, the Bel Air Academy gym set is here too, and I remember you having to sit in that cold ice bath for hours. Yeah. And that was really fun. I sure couldn't feel my toes. No, but seriously, my favorite part of this lot is the talented crew who put it all together, from hair, wardrobe, makeup, set design, props, and transportation. Transpo, yes. Yo, Transpo is the best. Yeah, they have the sweetest rides for us to play with. Actually, speaking of, if we're gonna get a ride like this, we better go talk to Transpo now and let these people get back to their tour. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. As long as I get to drive. Oh, not if I've got the keys. Oh, nothing wrong with it. Oh, man.
Seasons 1 and 2 of Bel Air are now streaming on Peacock, and we're now in pre-production on the upcoming season 3. Over to the left is stage 14. Inside is the Bel Air Academy set, with the gym and the ice bath. Speaking of television, and the 21st century medium of streaming, Universal, NBC Universal, Peacock, etc. have also brought you many of your other favorite hit television shows. We now bring you streaming shows as well. Coming up on the right are stages 16, 17, 18, and 19. Stages 16 and 17 were recently used for seasons 3 and 4 of Never Have I Ever, a Universal series streaming on Netflix, which comes to us by way of creator, producer, writer Mindy Kaling. And the last stage on the right here, stage 19, was used for another Peacock streaming series, Killing It with Greg Robinson, and also on the right, two of the biggest movie stars in the world, the Minions. Illumination Entertainment next exit. Illumination Entertainment is one of our sources of animated content. They first unleashed the Minions onto the world in Despicable Me. A week from Friday, December 22nd, they're going to bring us a movie about a family of ducks migration. They're going on an adventure of a lifetime. And earlier this year, Illumination brought us a movie about some of the little guys in blue overalls. Not the Minions, though. Who am I talking about? The stars of what was the biggest movie of the year there for a while. It's now moved to the number 2 spot. The Super Mario Brothers movie from Universal, Illumination, and Nintendo. It was number 1. The number 1 spot was taken over by, of course, Barbie from Warner Brothers. And Illumination has an office inside one of these bungalows here on the left. A lot of you were looking that way anyway because you spotted Ted back there. He starred the Ted movies and the upcoming Ted series coming to Peacock January 11th. And inside these other bungalows here are the offices of some of the other top production companies in the business. Mark Platt is the producer of the Broadway hits Wicked and Dear Evan Hansen. got an office somewhere here. Coming soon from Mark Glad and Universal, The Wicked movies. Wicked Part 1 with Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande as Elphaba and Glinda, respectively, will be defying gravity in theaters November 27th, 2024. Less than a year later, November 26th, 2025, we're going to get Wicked Part 2. Oscar winner Michelle Yeoh is Madame Horrible as the wizard himself, the man behind the curtain, Jeff Goldblum. Now coming up, Bungalow 5195, home to the offices of the De Laurentiis Company. They brought us the Flash Gordon movie starring Ted Sam Jones. This was also once the working office of the master of suspense Alfred Hitchcock, director of classic thrillers like Psycho. Stage 25 coming up here is used to the NBC series Lopez versus Lopez with George Lopez and his daughter Maya Lopez in the title roles. And now we're going to leave the front lot and head on to the back lot, where the world is just around the corner. And coming up on the left are metropolitan sets in New York Street. Note that these are, like I said earlier, for the most part what are called facades. Not much more than false fronts and sides of buildings. For filming purposes, we found this is very often all we need to build, only with the camera can see. On more than one occasion, we've had obstacle courses placed along the entire length of New York Street for various rounds of the reality series American Ninja Warrior, which airs Mondays at NBC. But now,
thou shalt rise again.
we're going to shift gears and go back to the subject of monster movies because it's almost time to get a look at the monster movie mural created by Tristan Eaton, with monsters like the Frankenstein monster, originally played on film here by Boris Karloff, Dr. Frankenstein, played by Colin Clive, and Dr. Frankenstein, Colin Clive, he's the one that says the line about the mural's going to be coming up here. One of the things I might notice here in the metro sets, some dumpsters, some trash dumpsters. The dumpsters are real. Now I know Tristan Eaton said he got started tagging dumpsters illegally. No, we can't get into any ideas, everyone. No tagging. Please remain in your seats here. But here's the mural. All right, and we're going to also take a look at the metro sets. Coming in through this first breezeway here, you'll see a theater marquee on the left here. And we turned these sets into 1985 Philadelphia during Live Aid for the pilot episode of Quantum Leap. So for those 1985 scenes, we had a couple of 80s movies playing at the theater there. Rudy and Demolition Man. And later we used these same sets for some scenes taking place in the 90s for the upcoming Ted series. So then we had a couple of 90s movies playing there. Wait a minute, Rudy and Demolition Man were the 90s movies. The 80s movies were The Goonies and St. Elmo's Fire. That was the double feature back in the 80s. Rudy and Demolition Man for Ted. I'm going to turn things right now over to my co-host, Jimmy Fallon, live from New York, or New York Street, and almost live. And on Tuesday morning, here's my co-host, Jimmy Fallon.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York! I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Always got mugged over there. An old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey! I'm walking here! It's cool guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
While New York is where Jimmy Fallon got his start, it's also where the big A, King Kong, made his untimely end. Here now is the director of our 2005 retelling of the classic King Kong story, Academy Award winner and Beatles enthusiast Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up into the future. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
Folks, adventure awaits us. Sold out of your personal belongings. Remain seated at all times. Keep your arms and legs aside. Now welcome to Skull Island.
We're back in Skull Island. Kong 360 3D, one of the world's largest and most intense 3D experiences. Boy, how about those acoustics? That epic battle was projected onto two of the world's largest digital 3D screens, standing over 40 feet tall and 180 feet long. Everybody, hang on to the glasses. We're going to use them one more time on the tour. The whole experience was created by Peter Jackson and the Oscar-winning team at Weta Effects, formerly known as Weta Digital. The same crew formed the 2005 King Kong feature film. The Metro sets here appear in the Quantum Leap episode of season 3 called One Night in Koreatown. In that episode, there's an ambulance that plays a very important role in the story later in the episode. The ambulance is an example of what we refer to as a picture car. Picture car is an industry term meaning any vehicle on the set that's going to be seen by the camera. Some of these cars have become as famous as the stars have driven them. Over the years, picture cars have gotten bigger, badder, and faster. Okay, Back to the Future DeLorean. There's the picture car you might be familiar with. They've gotten bigger, badder, and faster as audiences continue to embrace their need for speed. The Bluesmobile from the Blues Brothers from SNL's Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi. The Deathmobile from Animal House, also with Mr. Belushi. And the Flying Mule from Serenity. The futuristic APC vehicle from Doomsday. Or any of those customized street racers from this very car-centric Fast and Furious movies. And we got a display of picture cars coming up on the left here. The first of which is going to be a 1932 yellow Deuce Coupe from George Lucas's American Graffiti. Right next to it, a red Ferrari 308 from the original Magnum PI with Tom Selleck. And
Roads? Well, we're going legally roads.
Some Back to the Future vehicles. Biff's 1948 Ford convertible, and a couple of vehicles that don't need roads from the year 2015. As seen in 1989's Back to the Future Part 2. Here's a vintage police car from Public Enemies with Johnny Depp, and some real vintage cars from the 1994 live-action Flintstones movie, and another car that doesn't need roads, the Flying Buckle Ford Anglia from the Warner Brothers production of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Here's a Willys Coupe from the Fast and Furious movies, a camouflage Mercedes from the Lost World Jurassic Park, a gyrosphere from Jurassic World directed by Colin Trevorrow, the Fry's Electronics Tech Team van from Nope, and the Crawdaddy Speedboat from Us, both written and directed by Academy Award winner Jordan Peele. Here are some military vehicles for the Paramount Greenberg's Transformers movie, and coming up on the right, a cheap Wrangler Sahara with Jurassic Park graphics on it, but it was featured also in Jurassic World. Before there were the Jurassic World movies, there was, of course, Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park trilogy.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Coming up ahead, some props, picture cars, and other items that have been featured in some of Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park movies. Like, coming up on the right here, a boat that was being attacked by the Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3, directed by Joe Johnston. By the way, has anybody seen the Spinosaurus? On the lookout for the Spinosaurus. On the left, a Fleetwood Army mobile lab here dangling off a towering cliff in a terrifying scene from The Lost World Jurassic Park with Vince Vaughn, Academy Award winner Julianne Moore, and the soon-to-be wizard himself, Jeff Goldblum. And actually, for this scene, the van was right here on the Universal front lot, dangling from a parking structure. Look out, everybody, we're under attack by a pack of angry spinning Dilophosauruses. We're still looking for the Spinosaurus. On the left, here's the Spinosaurus, and our tour is now approximately at the end. So, I just want to remind everybody to stay seated the entire tour. The studio is private property, and if you drop your phone or just can't wait to use the restroom, pull the red cord to get my attention, and I will be back to assist you, but do remain seated on the tram. Back to this idea that the world is just around the corner on the back lot. We're going to take a trip south of the border here. We're going to head into Old Mexico. Old Mexico appears as contemporary Belize in the season 1 episode of Quantum Leap, Fellow Travelers. In the scene where Jen, played by Nancy Lee, confronts Dennis Calamici, played by Peter Riley, and his daughter of the late Al Calamici, played by Haley Scott Hall on the original Quantum Leap. Her mother is Beth Calamici, played by Susan Hall, on the original in the 2020s Quantum Leap versions. Did I mention there's a flash flood running in effect from Old Mexico? Yeah, there is. Uh-oh, the storm. Everybody grab your thunder, buddy. Oh, the gods have been angry with all the celebration. We get some thunder and lightning, and we get some rain. Einstein himself, Paul Giamatti, apparently receiving great reviews for his performance in the Focus Features production Holdovers. Now, we're going to head all the way back east, off to the New England town of Amity Island from Jaws. We're going to be heading up there in a few moments. After years, the shark ruled the waters in Amity, and we see that sick vandalism. He crippled the town's tourist economy and left a path of death and destruction in his wake. But I understand now the people of Amity are breathing a sigh of relief because they finally caught the famous shark. In fact, Amity police divers are in the water right now. They're doing a final check of the harbor before reopening the beaches to tourists. And Jaws was only the third feature film from Academy Award winner Steven Spielberg, who began his career right here on the Universal lot. His first feature film was actually a TV movie called Duel, about a giant driverless truck chasing his man on a deserted road. The man played by Dennis Weaver of McCloud from the ABC mystery movies there, the Sunday mystery movies there. Duel was released in theaters overseas, and then it was on TV here in the States. Then Steven's second movie was his first domestic theatrical feature, released in theaters here, The Sugarland Express with Goldie Hawn. His third movie was Jaws, and I'm going to let Steven tell his own story right now. Go ahead, Steven.
When I was about, 16 years old, and I began hanging out at Universal during my summers. When I went to college nearby, I continued to come on the lot and try to become a director. So Universal sort of is my birthplace. This is a place I consider my first home, and I love it here. And I keep coming back.
Here's a scene with him from Duel. Yeah, kids, no, this truck does not transform into a friendly Autobot. It's just a mean big truck. Here's the Sugarland Express with Goldie Hawn, Sakatunian. Here's Jaws. Followed by the World War II comedy 1941, featuring SNL's John Belushi. E.T. the Extraterrestrial with Barrymore, Henry Thomas, and Dean Wallace. Always with Richard Dreyfuss, Holly Hunter, and John Goodman. Jurassic Park and Lost Jurassic Park, based on the Michael Crichton novels. And then things got real. When I say things got real, I mean, he even made a couple of pretty serious historical dramas based on actual events, including 1993's Oscar-winning Best Picture Schindler's List and 2005's Munich. And then last year things got actually things got personal last year when Steven released his autobiographical film. Okay. The Fablemans. All right, we're gonna go visit Amity from Jaws, everybody. So let's take a look at the shark. There's the shark, and wait a minute. This shark doesn't look 25 feet long. It looks more like 14 or 15 feet. You know, with these fishermen, they do tend to sometimes, shall we say, exaggerate the truth. Yeah, they're all. I got one that was this big, but they really mean is look at the big fin of the water. The fin of the water. The diver is still out there somewhere. We gotta warn him. Where is he? Oh, there he is, sir. You gotta get back in the boat. Now, look out for the no longer too late. And the shark has got now. Help, police! Oh, that's right. You are the police. You were the police. Everyone, please remain seated at all times as we make our way across the dock. I think our boys have caught the wrong shark. The real Jaws is still out there somewhere. And now our only hope will be if he takes the bait attached to the yellow tree in the harbor. Oh, he's taking the bait. He's taking the bait. He's taking the gear. On the right, look out! Well, I know the big plastic shark looks kind of phony up close. He's much more reliable. Movie Jaws.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark is frustrated. It didn't really work this time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio waves. They were always saying, the shark is not working. Repeat, the shark is not working.
We just waited around. We just waited and waited and waited.
The shark worked well enough. For a while there, I had to make it so I really owe the shark a lot.
In case you're wondering, Bruce the shark from Jaws was named after Steven Spielberg's attorney. And these Amity Island sets also became the town of Cabot Cove, Maine for the television series Murder, She Wrote, starring the late great Dame Angela Lansbury as Jessica Fletcher, the daring author detective. Just ahead here on the left is Elm Street, which appears in a season 1 episode of Quantum Leap called Then Interrupted. October 2022 aired a scary Halloween episode of Quantum Leap called Oh Ye of Little Faith, which utilized the chicken ranch here to the right, an example of episode of the original Quantum Leap starring Scott Bakula in Beethoven's Fifth with a big St. Bernard and Dave Thomas of SCTV and Strange Brew.
Fucking jail is what I'm gonna do.
Our 2020's Quantum Leap sometimes utilizes Colonial Street coming up here on the left. You might remember Colonial
If
Street.
there is one thing everyone in suburbia can appreciate, it's a good neighbor.
It was Wisteria Lane for years on ABC's hit Desperate Housewives. We're going to take a trip up the street.
What the heck? That's that.
Then we're going to make a loop and come back, so it's a cul-de-sac. We'll have two opportunities to see the houses here. To the left, we have the odd side of the house, like number 1431 here on the odd side was once 1313 Mockingbird Lane, home to the Munster family in the 60s sitcom The Munsters with Fred Wynn and Devon Nichols. To the right here, this light blue house is number 1432. Yeah, there's going to be the Quantum Leap episode, Let Them Play, where Dr. Ben's son traveled back to the year 2012. It'll also be appearing as the 90s Boston area home of young John Bennett, played by Max Burkholder in the Ted series. You might remember John Bennett was the character played by Mark Wahlberg in the Ted movies. You can also see these sets and episodes of Never Have I Ever, the Universal series streaming on Netflix. Matrei Ramakrishnan. Coming up on the left here, this house was the title location for the recent NBC series Abby's with Natalie Morales. And these, Colonial Street sets also appear as a winter wonderland in Candy Cane Lane with Eddie Murphy, now streaming on Amazon Prime. That's a Prime series. These sets also appear in music videos such as It's a Beautiful Day by Michael Bublé and All Star by Smash Mouth. And it was a beautiful day in the neighborhood when Mr. Rogers himself, Academy Award winner Tom Hanks, lived here in the 1989 film The Burbs. Yellow Jackets' Christina Ricci is here, filming part of the Casper movie. Nellie and Kelly Rowland shot Nellie's Dilemma music video here. I mentioned the Desperate Housewives, Tom Hulse and Stephen First. We shot a scene from Animal House around some of these sets. Suburbs and entering our wilderness area, which is why coming up on the right we have a deer crossing sign and a duck crossing sign. In fact, it's migration season.
At Illumination, we're fortunate to be the stewards of a number of franchises. However, we also have a mission, which is to bring new stories and new characters into the world. Let's fly. In Migration, a family of ducks will embark upon what will become a journey of a lifetime. We meet some funny, silly, likable new characters.
Everything will be all right. Yeah, no, I'm okay. We can do this.
This movie is a reminder that no matter how fearful we might become, there still is a beautiful world out there to experience.
Migration season begins December 22nd. We are approximately 15 minutes from the end of the tour, and we'll be returning to the theme park shortly. Remember to pull the emergency cord if you need assistance, and remain seated at all times. And now, we're going to return to the subject of picture cars. Once again, picture car is any J doll on the set that's going to be seen by the camera. Here's another display of picture cars. In fact, if you look closely, you might see Bumblebee from the Paramount DreamWorks Transformers and Bumblebee movies over here to the right. Looks like Bumblebee has a police escort. Take a closer look at that police car, though. It's the Decepticon barricade. And spoiler alert, we got some Fast and Furious cars here. Spoiler alert, I mean it. Two of them literally do have spoilers. And look at this. A 1970 black Dodge Charger. I recognize that from somewhere. And in a few moments, what are we going to see? A Ford Fairlane, which was being driven by Marion Crane, played by Janet Leigh. And Marion had been looking for a place to stay and maybe take a shower, her final destination. And
We all go a little mad sometimes.
our next point of interest